let's save this one for later. Let's try again with Spellcraft, which is also almost as tough because of Small Hands. Small Hands is even worse than the extra 5 dead weights, but at least we get some benefits here with Magic Hand, Cheap Trick, and the enemies not having spikes and stealth. We are Remnant Awoken. Remnant Awoken. We have Sharpen in our starting deck. We have Hello Drippings, Fatal Melting. Ooh, this might be tough. Volatile Gorge. When all our spells are already cost reduced, I mean, we want more draw. That's a way to counter Small Hands. Start with Volatile Gorge. And I think we want a Harvest. Harvest plus Spikes. That might be solid. The +4 attack should be fine. We have to set up on the top floor. And we want to get these harvest triggers. But more than that, I think I want the damage. So I'm gonna use Hello Dripping so this guy stays around for a while. We do have spikes now, which at least kills off this Disciple Foot Soldier. Might as well. We won't have the damage to kill this guy. There's literally no way. But we might be able 14, 15, 33. We might be able to get him down to... What have I done? Okay, we actually managed to kill him. We can't block the hit against the spikes. That would be disastrous. We need to get these units out of the deck. The spells we can manage, but units... All these 2 costs. Instead of fixing my draw, I made it even worse. Yeah, this is not good. This is literally a disaster. I mean, we are okay here, but I forgot about Magic Hand. Tripfall, Molded. I think I want the Molded. Oh, Razor Sharp Edge. Wildwood Sap isn't bad. Restoration Detonation might be the best card of them all, though. A backliner for Rector seems good. We need a way to fix our Ember problem. Would really like to upgrade the Shattered Shell, though. Yeah, I think I have to. Nope. Okay, this is quite solid. I think I want to buy a Perch. We need to get these Train Stewards out of here ASAP. They're gonna destroy us otherwise. Mark of Invasion, that's a bit scary. That's not that scary. We will take some damage to the top floor ones. But we can always set up on the middle floor and be fine. And that's what we have to do. But now we have pretty solid scaling. Is there a way to get the collector? I don't think so. Too bad. Guess we'll miss out on that. I do want the Shattered Shell to get a kill, but it's quick, so it can't. Oh, no units have died yet, huh? A Train Steward and a Drag will be enough to kill this Forged Disciple on the top floor. We do have the kill here. Shattered Shell is doing a good job. Shattered Shell plus Harvest with Quick plus Harvest Rector is a great team. I don't want a Draft, I don't want a Whiplash, I don't want another Hello Drippings. I wouldn't mind a Steel Enhancer. Or a Wildwood Sap. Steel Enhancer is pretty solid. Yeah, give me spell upgrades, I need cost reductions. Let's also look at the caverns first. Rare draft pick, what do we want? We want One Horn's Tome. Excavation Eruption would be nice. Let's take a look. Rare draft pick. Consumer of Crowns would be pretty solid. One Horn's Tome obviously. Other than that, an Alloy of the Ancients wouldn't be terrible, and a Dark Deal would also be okay. For Stygian, Gifts for a Guard would be nice. Ancient Synergy wouldn't be terrible. Deep Offering would be okay, although not... Yeah, Deep Offering would actually be really good. Allows us to get rid of all the expensive cards that have gathered in our hand. And finally Umbra. Honestly, Kindle would be okay in this deck. Furnace Tap is obviously pretty strong. And Umbra Stone has interesting interactions with Sweep. I would probably take it. Okay, that's good. That's pretty good. As long as our enemies don't have spikes or sweep, we can very easily get value out of that. Consume removal on the One Horn's Tome seems like a good idea, but we are never gonna draw into that again. Cards I really want to play as often as possible is include Sharpen. So we cost reduce that. Cards I wanna have more effect of, basically. That's the thing we're looking for. I wouldn't mind a big burst heal, but if any it should be Restoration Detonation, I think. And I think we want to buy another Perch on a Train Steward, because these are really terrible right now. They are about as bad as dead weights, and dead weights are pretty bad. The only slight upside of Train Stewards is that they can cost 0 and then actually be okay. We could start on the bottom floor. I think that's a little better here. Because we do have sweep quick. So these guys are not a problem. And I'm playing the drag in front just to tank the 1 damage extinguishers. Don't really need the spikes, but it's also damage scaling. And it will add quite a chunk of damage over time. That's 15 damage to the front guy. Doesn't really matter. This will actually kill the backline also. We get a whole bunch of slate triggers here, which is very nice. I think I just want to burn some cards out of my hand. So I can draw more. I mean, this is multi-strike. Should be better. We won't need any burst healing this fight. Okay. I think this combination of quick sweeper plus Rector Flicker with Harvest is very powerful. And as long as we can deal with frontline units, we should be... With Harvest Rector, yes. Yes. Very much yes. Ember was never... It was never so easy to pick Ember for me. That just had to happen. So... I would really like some removals and an upgrade on the Shattered Shell. Train Stewards and Drags. Drags at least fit on the Rector Shattered Shell floor. Yeah. Skip. There's multi-strike, too bad we can't afford it. That would be really good on the Shattered Shell. Does it matter that much though? I don't think it does. We will have some problems dealing with tanky frontliners in the first wave. First and second wave, about that. That's gonna be tough. We still need to find a way to deal with them. Something like this Clip Defender can really cause problems. Adaptive Mutation will do the trick. So I guess we set up on the top floor so we have more time to draw into Adaptive. I think I want this Greg as a blocker against this Clip Defender. It's a bit too early to play the Adaptive Mutation here. I think we have to save it for later. I should have taken the damage on Rector. So I could use Restoration Detonation to deal some damage to this Clip Guardian. SE is the restoration detonation. Well, it will be pretty strong against the wave after the Clip Guardian. Ooh. 0 cost. And now we can use the mutation. Most units will die before they even hit Rector, and Rector will build up his health very quickly. I don't want to take away Harvests and Slays, so... And I guess I should keep the mutation, the restoration detonation actually. This gives the kill to the Shatterer Shell, which is nice. It also heals our Rector to full and pretty much guarantees our Rector will be full the rest of the fight. This deck it was a bit tough to get going early on, but now I think it's really going quite well. Easy win. Nope. None of these really do anything for us. Pyrogrow. Draw -2 next turn. Is a bit annoying, but the Ember is really valuable. I think we have to go to the left, get these removals, get spell upgrades. Should be pretty solid. I think we want to start removing Dregs now. Yep, we do. Like, some Dregs are fine. Maybe we should mix Dregs and Hello Drippings, but the Hello Drippings are easier to get rid of. Let's start with 2 Dregs. We can always go for the Hello Drippings later. Holdover. I would like... Sharpen is pretty good scaling. And the cost reduced Sharpen is almost always gonna be free. Sometimes it will cost 1. Sharpen is decent scaling, yeah. That's worth it. Let's cost reduce. I don't mind paying 2 Ember for the Adaptive Mutation or 1 Horned Storm. Don't really want to cost reduce them. I think I cost reduce the other Sharpen instead. I will also upgrade another Restore with a Consume. Permafrost is not necessary with Magic Hand. Not at all. Let's cost reduce Fatal Melting and give it +10 damage. So we can actually use it in case we... face something like an armor trial and need to soften up the enemies. Could buy another removal, but I think by now I'm pretty happy with the deck. Sweep. Sweep means we can't rely on the Shatterer Shell to be around. We can't really give it enough health, so we might as well use the R1 Horned Tome on it anyways. And the armor on the enemies also makes it... That also makes it harder to use the Shatterer Shell. We'll have to see what we can do about it, but we should still be able to find a way to utilize the Shatterer Shell to gain harvest triggers for the Rector. Something like a Fatal Melting on the first wave. That means we get all the kills on these guys very easily. And as I said before, I do want a one-horn stone. Even though it will die to the boss, it's gonna die to the boss no matter what. Just remove that thing. Get some regen, remove the other thing. We're pretty close on killing this guy. I guess the steel enhancer does it. So we don't need to use adaptive mutation yet. I do want to wait one more turn for that. Let's play the Pyrogrow. We have a pretty big hand anyway, so we can't draw more than 4 cards anyway. And now we adaptive mutation. Should have... no, that's fine. And now we build up our health extremely quickly. This at least removes the lifesteal charge from the enemy. I mean, with these stats, we'll have no trouble with the boss whatsoever. Even without our Shatter Shell. And the Shatter Shell is quick, so it will still hit once. We actually end the fight with more health than we started it. This is a really good deck now. I'm pretty happy with it. Intent on Death? No. Focus Growth and Snare Invigorating Solution? No. What would I take? Something... Not much. I would like a Razor Sharp Edge, I guess. Let's go for relics here. We have a bunch of gold and there are a few relics that would be quite nice. Gnarled Root is not bad. What would be better? Something that gives us extra draw, maybe? Let's go for the Karens. Minor or major refraction? Major refraction on the Shatter Shell is obviously quite good. Higher starting stats means it becomes more relevant more quickly. And the extra health, if I don't play One Horn Stone, can also help a bit. Minor refraction on it would mean we have place for one more unit. But that unit could only be another Shattered Shell because we're not gonna find any units anymore. Well, there are still a few units we could find, but... The problem with the major refraction is we can't set up on a capacity reduced floor and... Oh, no, it's 2 capacity up. Never mind, we can't do that. We have to go with the minor one. I mean... It might be helpful sometimes. I'm gonna buy that and reroll. Not interested in these. Maybe the Firewall. I think the Firewall is a nice safety net for this pretty powerful run. It's a pretty powerful run and we just want the extra safety of the Firewall, just in case we have to take some damage to something like an Ultimate Penance. Which we don't have to here. It's not Rage Fell, so we don't have to worry about sweep. I will take the damage here. Especially because I have the Firewall. This time around, I don't want to. These things stay in our hand, so it really has to be a priority to play them out. I think we can get some more value out of Adaptive Mutation by playing it later. Don't think we have to play it just yet. Really want to get rid of this one. Pyrogrow is nice. Let's remove this. I think this is the time for Adaptive. It's not gonna be quite enough just yet. Four damage off this on the kill here. Let's finish this. This guarantees the Slay goes to the Shatterer Shell. 46 we need. If we have 54 damage on the Shatterer Shell, it will kill a Clipped Guardian with the quick. Let's hit Fell with that one. Nothing has died yet. Against the boss, the spikes are better on the front line because Fell has multi-strike. So even though the +4 attack on the Shattered Shell is better, the spikes on the champ are much more effective. And we have Fell down. Nice, nice. There's an Awoken Rail Spike, which is obviously very good. Shout Channeler. Shout Channeler could be decent. We already have a pretty decent Spike sub-theme with the Holdover Sharpen and the Gnarled Root. Kind of like it. But is it better than a Rail Spike? Honestly, in this deck, I think it is. We don't really have that much scaling elements. In our cards, in our spells. We don't really benefit that much from drawing into them again and again. So the main thing we do is set up and then our units scale themselves. Another Ember wouldn't be terrible, but I don't think we need it at this point. We are up against Spell Consume Seraph though. Yeah, okay, it's Ember. Because Spell Consume Seraph puts three blights in our deck, which we have to play over and over again, and their costs are gonna be randomized, so the extra Ember helps with that. Well, we don't have to play them, they only deal 1 damage to us, so it's not that important. I think it's time we remove the Consume on the One-Horned Tome. There won't be any sweep in the Seraph fight. The cost reduction here does cancel out the Eternal Stone, but I think if we don't cost reduce, we can roll a 3 on the One-Horned Tome. I'm not sure how Cheap Trick gets added into the whole thing. I could just cost reduce the Adaptive Mutation instead. That's a safe bet. And let's put consume on another restore. I think we want one of these hello drippings gone and one of the dregs. Can still get some use out of the dregs, but easily harvest here because we do wanna grow our our rector very big. Spikes. Spikes is an issue. That means we can use One Horned Tome, and Spikes 5 is actually enough to kill off our Shattered Shell very easily. We can't do that. We would probably be fine against the boss, but we would not be fine against these guys. I need to stack spikes before we can deal with these guys. I'm not gonna play Pyrogrow. I need to draw right now. I'm gonna play Pyrogrow once we are in somewhat safe territory. Yeah, Pyrogrow is pretty bad now. We managed to draw into One Horned Tome, which is pretty nice. These guys have multi-strike, so we should definitely go with the spikes on the front line. I don't mind Rector taking a bunch of damage here, that's actually good for us. Let's also play down another drag. This one will die. So we do have space for the Shard Channeler. And let's throw away the Molded. I think I really want to draw into Shard Channel and Fatal Melting, so I'm gonna keep the Pyrogrow in hand one more turn. Fatal Melting first, so we can actually hit this guy with a Restoration Detonation. Then we play the Shard Channeler out, and it's time to swap. Now we can play the Pyrogrow as well. And I think from this point on we should be fine. Yeah, the One Horned Tome rolled a 3, but it doesn't matter. We now have enough power to deal with anything that comes our way. These spikes are actually painful for the enemies, dealing 70 damage. Let's bring back a drag as well. Don't really want to take away Slate triggers. Stack that multi-strike. So we can draw a full hand for some more spikes as well as multi-strike. Resin removal. We can't dispel the fragile. And Subsuming Blade comes a bit too late. Intent on Death, no targets in the deck. Preserve Thorns, Pyrogrow, Edgebriar. The Preserve Thorns are appealing, but they're pretty bad with the Volatile Gorge, so no. Preserve Thorns are appealing mostly because we're facing Consume Seraph, and they can be very good Consume fodder. Honestly at this point, the only thing that really interests me is relics. And actually a dupe. There's actually one thing I really want to dupe in this deck. Let's look at the relics first. Trader's Quill is nice. That's actually very nice. I'm very much considering saving some health. I want to upgrade this sharp channel out just a little bit. That leaves me, yeah, that leaves me with enough to buy the consume relic. And then we dupe the... not the one horn storm. One of them should be enough. The shard channeler. I do want that early, and I do eventually want 2 of them on the same floor. Let's hope the top floor isn't capacity reduced. It is. That's annoying. Yeah, there's a problem with not setting up on the top floor. And that's light wings that get spawned on there. Are gonna be real annoying. So I guess the dupe of the shard channel didn't pay off. Because that was... ugh. That was mostly important for... Wait, why did I set up on the top floor? That's so bad. Oops. I need to set up on the bottom floor against this boss. Because of the purifiers. I guess we can consume that. Gotta consume this. Yeah, let's get this out of our hand. It will stay there unless we play it. We consume another restore. The one that has consumed naturally. No, the one that hasn't. It's just 10 damage. Doesn't increase our kill speed. I don't want to take away the slaves. Yeah, that's another 30 damage against this guy, which is valuable. The pyre wall is gonna be pretty important here. We will take quite a few leaks until we are set up. This is pretty good though. This too. Not because of the front line, but the back line needs to go. Oh, I consumed the one horn storm. Oopsie. But to be entirely honest, that shouldn't matter. Let's consume the pyre grow on this floor. Yeah, I need the extra ember. Well, need is a bit too much. I want the extra ember. Not getting the kill on this gilded wing in the back is annoying. Our... We drew into the holdover sharpen pretty late, huh? This card is actually almost useless. That guarantees the kill here. Might as well play these out. I am gonna keep this restore around. do want to consume something on the top floor. No, I can just Fatal... Fatal Melting is not going to be enough. This guarantees we take no damage this turn. Let's play these out. Let's sharpen here. 75 damage spikes. That's pretty solid. We can keep the Fatal Melting in hand. Let's kill this guy with a Restore. Seraph is like, that's not how you use Restores. And there is the final wave. Of course we had to draw these things in such huge numbers. Well, Seraph doesn't like thorns that hit for 135, that's for sure. Whew! That was a cool deck, I really liked it. Only pick units if they serve a purpose. Is the way to go about that mod. If you don't immediately see what a unit is supposed to do in your deck, then don't pick it. Unless it's very early, then you can pick up just units speculatively and that works out. Sometimes. And if not, if you die early, then at least you didn't waste a lot of time. Okay. That was a very fun deck. I really like this whole Shattered Shell Rector Flicker interaction. It was a bit tough to remove high health tanky units, but we always found a way until the final fight, where we had to let a high health Gilded Wing pass, but I guess that was okay. The Adaptive Mutation was really good. It's a great card to use with the Harvest Flicker, because even though his health will be relatively low, it won't be that low that he dies in a single round of combat. And he has such high attack that he can easily get kills, so even if you have not that many other units on the board, he can get his health back pretty quickly. Shard Channel was a nice pickup, helped a lot with scaling damage quickly enough to kill frontliners, especially with the Gnarled Root, the Holdover Sharpen, so spikes definitely became a very valuable asset to this deck. Interesting, this deck, even though Remnant was our main clan and we had Rector Flicker as our champ, it used almost no Remnant cards. We had the Fatal Melting in the deck, the Moldeds, the Hello Drippings and the Dregs, and all of those were pretty much just trash we kept from earlier. We didn't really wanted them. We just had them and didn't have time to remove them. The Fatal Melting was somewhat helpful, the Dregs too, the Molded not really, and the Hello Drippings not really, but yeah. The rest of the deck was just all Awoken stuff, which usually works best with the Sentient, but Harvest Rector Flicker is the big exception, which works really well with Awoken cards, especially with Spikes, because that makes Harvest so much easier. With Sweep, same reason. And Spikes also help because he has a huge health pool, very good boss killing tool. And Adaptive Mutation is just so sweet on the Harvest Flicker. Yeah, that marks the completion of the 14th Expert Challenge. I think I will try Extra Pain Train again tomorrow, with random, but if it doesn't work out, I won't hesitate and try to optimize my clans against this challenge. I will probably focus on clans that have champions that can do very well against this kind of thing, so probably Awoken or Hellhound comes to mind.